at that time, that was like the absolute most
Yeah,
like
literally normal.
Yeah, like it was normal. If you didn't wear that, you were like, what? Who's
Like-
this guy?
Hello friends and family, welcome to another video. My name is Carvalho and I occasionally talk about psychology. We have a guest here today.
Hi, my name is Victor.
So Victor, tell us what you do.
I have a small YouTube channel about fashion. I occasionally talk about fashion.
I actually brought a few points that maybe I wanted to ask you about because I was kind of speculating about how fashion kind of influences people, both guys and girls, but fashion is a lot of the times like connected to like femininity and like women fashion.
We see a lot of this stigma that fashion is only for women, but fashion doesn't have a gender. If you wear it and you feel good, just wear it. In the women's section or the men's section, just wear whatever you feel comfortable in.
And I just wanted to clarify, like, we're not like two white guys coming here in a channel and saying that, guys, we're a minority here, we're guys, and we're talking about fashion. Our message actually is that fashion is literally for every person, whether you're a guy or a girl or both or neither. You should be able to wear whatever you want to wear, right?
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Have you watched that show? I think it's called Sex Education.
Yeah.
The fashion sense in that show is really interesting, right?
Let's say I think it's Eric, one of the main characters, and he has a...
He's a friend, right?
Yeah, he's the
black.
black gay friend of Otis. I think is the main character.
Yeah, he's a really funny character.
His sense of fashion is really out there. Look at the character, he's really out there. He's always loud and very happy.
Yeah.
Look at his clothes. It's always something with shine or a lot of colors.
Mm-hmm.
It represents the person's true self.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I found most interesting about fashion.
Yeah.
Not only on that show, but like
in life, right? Yeah.
In general,
Yeah.
the expression of wearing whatever you want. Even though people are looking at you like weird, own it.
Yeah.
Have some confidence, own it. I wore that.
I'm pulling this off. I'm looking good.
Yeah.
But speaking of TV shows, fashion is really huge in TV shows. Like people might not notice that, but like every single TV show has a huge team like working on what people will wear, and like the costumes, they really matter to like the success of a TV series, right?
And the success of the character itself. Let's use the example of Eric. If he only wore black and his personality was the same, it wouldn't fit. There's a lot of thought into like what the characters will wear.
I think in the key points, like in really episodes that really mark a specific character. I've noticed that within I'm really big fan of How I Met Your Mother. Have you watched that yet?
Yeah. Love it.
I'm a really big fan of How I Met Your Mother, and like if you notice, like there are certain episodes. For example, there's one episode I remember now where the directors were trying to show like a parallel between Ted's mom and dad and how the relationship of Ted and Robin was kind of developing. And so you can see that like Ted is wearing the same color as his dad and Robin is wearing the same color as Ted's mom. And that's such a subtle thing, but like your brain kind of locks on that immediately. Like those subtle things, like the way that people are dressing in a TV show, they're super huge. Of how like when you bat an eye on that character, you're like, I know what that character is gonna be about. And there's so many examples, man. Like if you look at any like
even
TV
Barney,
show, even Barney, like the whole Sue thing,
the Sue thing. They want to pass an image of successful.
It's not about this success, I believe. It's not about passing the image that he is successful specifically, but I think the biggest thing is like that he cares so much about showing his success.
About his appearance. He cares a lot about his appearance, basically.
But in any TV show, like you can choose any TV show and you'll see there was like a huge effort put into what the characters are wearing. Any TV show, really. Like even Game of Thrones, even Game of Thrones, like the costumes are a huge part of Game of Thrones. If they were wearing like something you could see or like made up costumes from a Vanity Fair or something, you wouldn't take it as seriously, right? And I think it all follows into the same thing. Like it's something you build through your life, and I think it's a sense that you develop and even change.
Fashion, it evolves when your mind evolves as well. Think about when you were young. You probably wore things that now you look at it and say, oh, this is super weird, super ugly. I'm probably gonna see my videos in like 5-year time to see what I was dressing like this, because fashion evolves. You don't need to be afraid of experimenting. It's way better to try and fail than never try at all.
Also, I think that like if it works as any consolation, if you're trying to express express your sense of fashion or something like that. There's literally no piece of clothing that in maybe like 20 or 30 years you'll look at it and it won't look ridiculous. I think that as a society we always try to fit in and we always try to wear like the same things as everyone else. We don't want to look like apart, but just the way that a society changes, like whenever you look at a picture from 1980, everyone's wearing something completely ridiculous, right? Always.
And at that time, that was like the absolute most, like
literally normal.
Yeah, it was normal. If you didn't wear that, you were like, what? Who's this guy? Fashion, it's always a cycle. In 2021, we're living like the 80s and the 90s all over again. You go to any Zara, you're gonna see a lot of knitwear, which was huge in the 90s. You're gonna see baggier pants, which was huge in the 80s, 90s. A lot of hip hop and rap influences, which was huge in the 90s. Skating influences, which for me is the best thing ever. Look who's the head director of Louis Vuitton's for men. It's Virgil Abloh. He was a skater when he was young. There's a lot of influence of that skater word nowadays. It's a cycle. Don't throw all your stuff away just because it's out of fashion. Keep something. It goes out of style, it comes back to style. Like some pieces, of course you're gonna grow out of some pieces, but keep some as well. You're gonna save a lot of money, trust me.
Kind of last point I wanted to talk about. I think this one is a very important one. We've been talking about how we connect to people because of maybe like premium clothing and things like that. And one concern that a lot of people have is that like that is kind of a gateway because of money. Obviously wearing nice things depends on what you define as nice, right? But if you want to be part of that whole like fashion culture, like I think there's a huge like kind of stigma there, and I wanted to ask you what you think of that.
I think there's a big stigma where fashion, like you need to have lots and lots of money and always buying and new things and always the like top brands, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Balenciaga and whatever. Of course there's a little bit of truth in that, and those pieces, those expensive pieces are very fashionable and there's a whole thought and design through it. But it's not only about that. You can be the richest man in the world and afford every single piece of clothing, and a guy who is a normal guy and only works a normal shifts and whatever and has like knows how to dress, like he's gonna dress way better than you just because he knows how to pick stuff together and build a nice outfit. You can put the best brands in the world in one outfit, it's not gonna work. It's something that I like to talk about. You don't need a lot of money to renovate your wardrobe and dress nicely. You can go to vintage shops, you can find awesome deals online, even some like used clothing or shoes. I think it's better to learn how to build an outfit with accessories, hats, rings, chains, whatever, than to just buy the most expensive stuff online. It's way better to have a simple outfit but a one that works than have like 10 different expensive brands in your outfit and none of them like work together.
And also we were speaking about the TV shows, like with the example of Sex Education where people wear really different things. I don't think anyone there is wearing really expensive clothing. It's just literally everyone has a lot of color and like they choose really interesting things, and every single person in that show has a really interesting fashion like style, right?
Very, very different. There's a character that likes to draw anime or something.
I
forgot her name. She has a really different style. It's really out in your face. It's a form of expression. It's her. You know, you're gonna look at something and immediately think of her. You know, it's really nice. Even though she's not wearing any of like the major brands.
And to kind of bring like things together, go a little bit further in that message of wearing things you're not comfortable with. I'm not used to or not necessarily comfortable wearing accessories, and we're gonna be trying that out today and Victor's channel in this week, and we'll see how I look.
I'll make him suffer just a little bit for your entertainment.
If you want to see me look good, then maybe don't click on that video. No, just kidding.
No, he's gonna look good, and I promise you, look in the next videos. He's probably gonna be wearing more accessories next time.
If you guys catch me like wearing a few rings here and there, like maybe a chain, things like that, that's all on Victor, guys. And I hope you liked having him here. It was a pleasure. Like we had a conversation. We've been recording for like 40 minutes. We didn't stop talking 1 second. It was super fun. Thank you for coming here, Victor.
The pleasure is mine. I really thank this opportunity. I just want to say that to everyone who like the subject, is interested in fashion, Capabite will leave my Instagram and my YouTube in the description.
All in the description,
and
baby.
That's it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime, man.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll be back for sure. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I had a ton of fun with Victor here. I hope you guys had fun as well. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like below. I really appreciate it and it helps the channel a lot. I will see you guys next week. See you guys.
See you.